Hello, welcome back to the 5 things that you need to know about pregnancy and recovery series. And this video is about the pelvic floor. Five things that you should know about the pelvic floor, especially if you have no idea what it is. So the first thing is, what is the pelvic floor? And that is a group of muscles at the base of your pelvis. It is a large number of muscles. It's not just one or two, and it's layered. It's complex. So I'm not going to get into too much detail about it because that's not what this series is about. It's about just the basics. And the basics is, it's a group of muscles at the bottom of your pelvis that you can control and need to work on for pregnancy and recovery. Often we get issues with them. Point number two. Point number two is you can have problems with incontinence or even sexual pleasure. You can have prolapse. There's lots of different complications that can happen in the pelvic floor. Now, the pelvic floor is a group of muscles that when we have everything functioning perfectly, we don't even think about. It does its job. It works when we go to the bathroom. It's great. We have no problems with sexual pleasure, as in no painful intercourse, and we're happy. But when it doesn't work, we know, and we know very quickly. It's one of the only things we can think about because it can be such a problem. So it is related to so many things. Number 3, you can have a lot of problems with your pelvic floor during pregnancy and recovery, and one of them is prolapse. Now, if you've never had pelvic floor prolapse, wonderful. If you think you might have pelvic floor prolapse, which is when you have other organs and things pushing through your pelvic floor because your muscles are not holding things up correctly, please see a doctor and a pelvic floor physiotherapist. Often they will, one will refer you to the other. Now, it's really important that if you do have prolapse, it can cause a lot of problems, and you will notice this, but also during pregnancy and birth, you can have tears in your pelvic floor. You can have issues with chronic tightness in your pelvic floor. So there's lots of things that could happen, and it's important that you become aware of these. So go ahead and research these more if you need. Number 4, your pelvic floor is not all by itself, as in it is connected. It's connected to your diaphragm and your core muscles, both if we consider the front of your core and the back of your core. So if you've got an issue in your core, it can lead to problems with your pelvic floor as it's all connected, but also when we engage our pelvic floor, we should be using breath. And so there's a lot of ways that we can do this. That it's important that we engage our breath at the same time as engaging our pelvic floor. Use the breath to help us. And this is things like core breath, which is what Kim Bopney calls it when she's doing pelvic floor exercises. But all of these things are a little bit more complex than a simple Kegel, which is what everyone seems to be prescribed to use when they have a problem with their pelvic floor. So it's important that you look for other options and that you realize everything is connected. Number 5, and this is something that a lot of us don't realize, is that you can see a physiotherapist or a physical therapist that is entirely designed just for the pelvic floor. And I highly suggest you do that, specifically if you've had lots of children or you think you have a problem with your pelvic floor. They are out there. It is good to get some help. So please go and have a look and see what's available in your community, and go ahead and see if you can figure out how to help make sure you have a healthy pelvic floor. So this video was the 5 things that you need to know about your pelvic floor. There are plenty more. This is just a start, but go ahead, ask questions, make comments. Let me know what else you'd like to know. If there's anything that you think I've missed, I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear what you think about your pelvic floor. Thanks.